Sarah had always been a passionate advocate, even from a young age. Growing up in a household where her parents encouraged open discussion and empathy, she developed a strong sense of social justice. Her childhood, marked by volunteering at local shelters and engaging in community service, served as a foundation for the journey she was about to embark on. She had always been attuned to the voiceless, the marginalized, and the silenced. But it wasn't until a fateful day when she witnessed a shocking incident that her life took a dramatic turn. Walking home from work, she heard a woman's cries for help coming from a dimly lit alley. Without a second thought, she rushed towards the commotion, and there she found a woman in desperate need of assistance, a victim of domestic violence. The ordeal was a turning point for Sarah. The haunting screams of the survivor echoed in her mind, and she couldn't ignore the pain and suffering she had witnessed. This event served as a powerful catalyst for her, igniting a fire within her heart to stand up and advocate for those who couldn't speak for themselves. In the days that followed, she couldn't stop thinking about the woman she had helped, and she realized that she had a calling to make a difference in the lives of survivors like her. Sarah's decision to act was swift and resolute. She began by immersing herself in research about the issues surrounding domestic violence, learning about the statistics, the struggles of survivors, and the lack of resources available to help them. The more she uncovered, the more she felt the urgency of her mission. She decided to take her first step by volunteering at a local women's shelter. Walking through its doors for the first time, she was met with a mixture of emotions: compassion for the survivors, anger at the perpetrators, and an overwhelming determination to create change. At the shelter, she met remarkable women who had survived unimaginable abuse. Their stories of resilience and the obstacles they had overcome moved her deeply. Sarah found herself connecting with these women on a profound level, understanding that her advocacy work was not only about bringing their stories to light but also about providing them with the support and resources they so desperately needed. Sarah's involvement with the women's shelter became increasingly integral to her life. She spent hours listening to survivors' stories, offering them a shoulder to lean on, and empowering them to speak out about their experiences. As she connected with more survivors, she began to comprehend the magnitude of the issue. In this chapter, delve into the harrowing stories of a few survivors that Sarah met. These stories, filled with pain and courage, help illustrate the complex and deeply emotional journey that survivors of domestic violence endure. Sarah's encounters with these brave women underscore the importance of her mission and motivate her to work even harder to break the silence surrounding domestic violence. The journey of advocacy is not without its challenges. In this chapter, explore the obstacles that Sarah encounters as she delves deeper into her mission. One of the first major hurdles she faces is the revelation that the shelter's funding is at risk. As the shelter's financial situation becomes precarious, Sarah realizes the urgent need to secure its future. She takes on the daunting task of finding innovative ways to raise awareness and funds to keep the shelter running. This chapter delves into the strategies she employs, the setbacks she encounters, and the determination that drives her to protect the sanctuary that has become a lifeline for so many survivors. As Sarah continues her efforts to support the women's shelter, she explores new avenues to amplify her advocacy. She starts a blog to share the stories of domestic violence survivors, using her platform to give a voice to those who have been silenced for far too long. Her blog, Voices Unheard, gradually gains a following. Readers are drawn in by the raw and compelling stories of survival and the strength of the human spirit. Sarah's online presence grows, and she begins to receive support from people who share her passion for advocacy. Sarah's growing online presence doesn't go unnoticed. A local news outlet catches wind of her blog and reaches out for an interview. They want to feature her and the shelter's work in a story on domestic violence, which will air on television and be published in their newspaper. The media coverage marks a turning point in Sarah's advocacy journey. As the story reaches a wider audience, the shelter experiences a surge in public support. Sarah witnesses the impact of her work as more people become aware of the domestic violence issue and the shelter's crucial role in supporting survivors. While Sarah's advocacy work gains momentum, it takes a toll on her personal life. The commitment she has to the cause sometimes leaves her with limited time and energy for her relationships, including her friends and family. In this chapter, delve into the emotional struggles Sarah faces as she navigates the balance between her passion for advocacy and her personal life. Her loved ones express concern about her well-being, and she must grapple with the challenges of self-care while remaining committed to her mission. Sarah's advocacy journey brings her into contact with a diverse array of individuals, some who wholeheartedly support her mission, and others who try to hinder her efforts. In this chapter, explore the allies and adversaries she encounters on her path. She forms strong bonds with fellow advocates, survivors, and volunteers who share her passion. These relationships provide her with emotional support and reinforce her belief in the importance of her work. At the same time, she faces opposition and challenges from unexpected sources, including individuals and organizations that don't want the issue of domestic violence to come to light. Sarah's advocacy work takes her beyond the confines of the shelter and her blog. She is invited to speak at public engagements, sharing her experiences and those of the survivors she has met. Her powerful storytelling resonates with audiences, and she begins to realize the transformative power of her words. In this chapter, describe the public speaking engagements she participates in and the impact she witnesses. Sarah recognizes that her ability to connect with people through storytelling is a compelling tool for inspiring others to join the cause. She sees the formation of a growing community of individuals who are committed to breaking the silence around domestic violence. A significant breakthrough occurs in Sarah's advocacy journey. A high-profile celebrity who has been following her work decides to join her cause. Their endorsement and support bring a surge of attention and resources to the shelter and the issue of domestic violence. Explore the impact of this celebrity involvement on Sarah's mission. It marks a turning point that catapults her advocacy efforts to a new level. The shelter receives substantial financial support, and the cause gains even more momentum in the public eye. Despite the challenges and obstacles that Sarah has encountered on her journey, her determination and resilience have enabled her to make significant progress in her advocacy work. In this chapter, reflect on her growth as an advocate and the impact she has had on the lives of survivors and the broader community. She looks back on her experiences and the lessons she has learned along the way. Her journey has been marked by moments of doubt and exhaustion, but her unwavering commitment to the cause keeps her going. She realizes that advocacy is not just about raising awareness but also about empowering survivors and creating lasting change. In the final chapter of the story, Sarah reflects on the journey she has undertaken and the changes she has brought about. The shelter is secure, thanks to the support it has received, and Sarah's efforts have empowered countless survivors to break their silence. The story ends with a sense of hope and optimism. The momentum of her advocacy work continues, and more individuals are committed to the cause of ending domestic violence. Sarah's journey, though marked by challenges, has illuminated a path toward a brighter future for those who have long been silenced and marginalized. She reaffirms her commitment to the cause and invites others to join her in the ongoing effort to break the silence.